I'm Rod Duff, your host.
And I'm producer Barbie.
And together,
we bring you our podcast,
Insights and Straight Talk. And with that, producer Barbie and I are out.
Hi, I'm co-host Emma Lynn, and this is my grandpa.
I'm Rod. How you guys doing today? I'm still technically confused. It's just stuff. Hey, show them. What are we still calling them? Kitty, right? Show the
Marshmallow.
Marshmallow. Okay, marshmallow.
Wait, it's a little Hello Kitty collar.
Oh, look at those nails!
Yeah.
What the hell? Let me see those nails again.
Yeah.
You did it. When did you do those last weekend?
Yeah.
Nice, awesome job. Well, we got a couple people on here, Emma. Out of the gate, that's great for a Saturday. I just brought the dogs back. What do you want to go through today? I know we want to go through some stuff like what it's like in school, like what some of the people were at, texting me back on and asking about.
So do you want to speak about how it was like when you were in school?
Oh, okay. You want to do a little comparison, a little question and answer? Why don't you ask me questions? I like that.
Okay. Well, tell me about it.
Okay. Oh, that's a wide open. Okay. So what was it like for me in school? I went to 3 different high schools. Kind of where you're headed, really. We got like 5 people coming on. That's cool. We got some crowd growing here. But for me in high school, let's just take Huntington Beach High. That was the 3rd high school. And but in general, and the only reason I say it that way is because it varied depending on whether I was in Illinois or in California, and in California on the beach.
Well, you could talk about like how it was like educational wise, or what you guys used for stuff like that.
Okay, do some comparison here. It's a good one. So we didn't have anything. We had nothing. I mean, we had what everybody else has at the time, meaning I graduated in 1981. Do you even know what that sounds like? Oh, look at that face of yours. Yeah, it's a really long time ago. I saw your reaction. Oh my God. You went like this. I mean, you went.
Wow.
81. So yeah, I graduated in 1981, meaning when you had a phone, it plugged into the wall at home.
Okay. And so you guys did books for stuff like that. Did you guys take like big books home?
Yes. Yeah.
So how many books did you guys have?
8 or 9 at least.
Did you have them in like lockers?
Pounds. About what's that?
Did you have them in lockers or on you at all times?
We had lockers. You had an assigned locker that was yay tall from here to ground, right? And up front you had little supplies, and then you had all your other stuff. So during the school day, we had backpacks, and you would bring those books home. But when you were in school, you put them in your locker, unless you had 2 or 3 classes in a row and so forth.
We actually don't have lockers like at all now.
You have no lockers?
No, in my last school, we had like lockers for like PE. So that was like in the locker room, and it was just for like your clothes for PE, but we don't have like lockers to put books and stuff in. I thought that we would, I thought that's what we would have, but we have like no lockers. And at my new school now, we have no lockers in general.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I wonder why. So is it because you do all your work on those computers? So I'll get back to my time. Let's fast forward just a little bit. And you were talking about yesterday that in your new school, in the School of Arts, your was that mommy you were just looking at?
No, my cat.
Okay. And there you have the first class where you pick up your computer, and then the last class, and I forget what those are called again. I know you'll tell me.
House.
so in those classes, your computer's staying there all the time, and that's all you use. So that's why you don't have books. Is that correct?
Well, it's kind of weird. We do have books like in our math class under our seats. We have like a book, but in my other school, we did pick up books for certain classes and we did have to take them, but we take took them home. Like it was just for home and we never really used them. It was kind of just mandatory to keep those books,
Yeah.
but like we never really use them. We mostly use like computers, but we did pick up books. Now we don't pick up any books. We don't keep our computers. So we technically have no homework at all. There's no homework that we have to do in general because we can't take our computers home. So there's no homework. They give us so
That's
much time.
so different.
It's really different. Like it's even different for me because like we didn't do this in my last school. Usually we had homework and it would take me a lot of time. But for me, like I hated doing homework in my freshman year. Like I hated doing homework, so that's what caused my grades to go down. But sophomore year, I would finish my homework before I even like went home. Like I would finish some of my work in the class beforehand. I would finish my work very very early so I wouldn't even have to do class at all and work at all in some classes. I just got it done really really quickly. So I never technically had to do homework.
We were required to do, and you had to get it verified by your parent. We had to do at least an hour and a half of homework every night.
We did that elementary. We did that elementary. That's what we had to do.
Okay. Same thing. We just carried it on through high school, and we carried those damn books back and forth every day. As a matter of fact, that's how a lot of relationships got started because guys would carry girls' books home. That old school stuff. Somebody came on, by the way, Jennifer Carter gives you a bunch of
Oh,
love there.
thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. So yeah, that's dramatically different, and it's also different because of the two different schools that you go to. So that makes a difference, obviously. Okay, what do you got for me now? I'm ready. Come on, girl. Come on.
Um, what were the type of classes that were around? Like, what were the type of like like electives? Like, what were the electives that were you had at like your time when you went to high school?
Um, so I think the classes. Well, first of all, we didn't have a lot of the stuff that's kind of has been blending into school. Uh, that was before. The last number of years, there's been some things blending in. None of that was any part of the school system when I was growing up. You know what I'm alluding to. Um, uh, but the electives I took, they were all so girls usually took home economics, and
Okay.
basically cooking and
Okay.
all of those things. Now it wasn't like you weren't allowed to go into one or the other, but typically I
Yeah.
did woodworking, electric. We did wire. I wired a house in high school. As part of a project. It's a very small house, but we did electrical wiring and all of those kind of things and shop a lot of
Mhm.
metal and woodworking shop stuff. Those were the electives. And then there was obviously the other side of things, which were a lot more mixed, gender mixed, meaning, and what I usually took is theater, arts, the
Yeah.
school play, that kind of stuff. That was how school was, and that was pretty much it. And that was
For
pretty consistent across the board.
for us, like, well, my school it's an art school, so it's basically all art
Right.
electives. But my other school, like, they had like construction class and they had cooking class and they had pretty good electives there, to be honest. I really wanted to take cooking class because that's you could take that junior year, but
That's the Diamond Bar. That's the
yeah.
Diamond Ranch school.
Yeah.
Now, what's this I hear? Now, let's get offline. By the way, I got a couple questions that have come up, but just to divert a little bit, I was talking to Pops earlier. He says you want to go to La Habra, not Diamond Ranch.
I've always wanted to go to La Habra, but I
I
know
knew
it's
that.
not
That's
really
where your
like,
friends are.
yeah, it's not really like a reality thing unless like I get my license and I want to drive over there. But um I
Oh, your dad's working on that. You and your dad got a deal, remember?
yeah,
Remember? Okay.
yeah.
We won't expand on it, but
But
it's not
I don't
a
know,
total
like
not
it's
reality.
yeah, well, yeah, it's like I've been thinking about it, but I just don't know for sure because I do have like my closest friends over there, and they do have a lot of more things for like since I want to go into nursing, they have a lot of like medical classes that I can like
Correct.
do. And it's like basically like those college classes where you can just take those boring ones like out of the way, before you go to college. So I want to go and do that. So I was thinking about maybe going over there, but I probably will be end up going to Diamond Ranch. But I don't know. I've been thinking about La Habra for a really long time.
Yeah, I know you have. But if let's say Pops can pull it because it's in a different district, so obviously
Mhm.
there's challenges to that. Pops can pull it off. You prefer to go there?
I don't know. That's something to really think about because it's pretty far. So I don't know.
Hey, okay. So let's get into some of the things. First of all, I want to jump ahead a little bit to John. Why don't you read that,
Mhm.
Evan?
Emma and Grandpa Rod, you two make such a great team. Thank you.
All right, go ahead. Start on your questionings. They're starting to
Okay.
come in.
How do teens handle the pressure of looking perfect on social media?
We're talking about this last show a little bit. Remember?
Hmm. Um,
It's a big deal too, right?
yeah, I feel like a lot of people just try to copy what other people are doing to get that like perfect look. Like they look at comments and see what is like perfect in other people who are behind the screen's eyes. Um, they just kind of copy off of that. But a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people now are really finding themselves and they're not trying to look perfect. They're just doing their own thing. And other people are just like, that's cool. Like a lot of people are really supportive. There's a bad side of the social media and there's also a really good side where it can be really, really supporting. And like, you don't have to be perfect. You're just yourself. And people like that better, you know?
I think I'm glad you said that. I mean, I think you're hitting on something that I've kind of was just thinking about myself, in that
Mhm.
there's a lot of people out there. But when it first came out, it was all, I'm biased, but women that look like you, girls that look like you, pretty, and all all dialed in and all that, and feeling that it was either that or nothing. It was the old model thing, like what girls are my girls' age. So, oh, Ronaldo's got a big question here for you. I haven't read it yet, but anyway, I've noticed that people on social media are less uh, all look like you. Like you just said, people are feeling comfortable. The social media, I think, is starting to grow up. I guess is the way to put it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Let's see what Ronaldo has to say. Why don't you read this?
Because Grandpa lived in Hawaii back in the day, do you remember that you could go to school with no shoes? Not because you were poor, but because you could. Emma, what can you do now that we may have not? Um,
Ooh, bam! That's a good one, and she's absolutely correct. Uh,
you would go to shoes and no school on? Like
and
you wait,
also, uh huh.
you
And in California, almost always, all I ever wore was flip flops. I didn't wear shoes. I mean, if I wore shoes, there was flip flops. So yeah,
I
there
wear
was no
sandals to
dress
school
code.
sometimes.
Oh yeah, me too. All
I
right,
mean, they
now,
they imply a dress code to our school, but it's not. They don't really push it, you know.
yeah, that's true. I guess a lot of I think sandals is a California thing. Period. I mean,
Well, but like
that's
but
that's
they would
normal,
tell us like no open-toed shoes, no certain this,
right?
certain that, and they used to really push on that, but now like they notice that people aren't really listening, and there's nothing that they could really do about it. So they kind of do not push on that like rule. They're just like, oh, okay, unless you're like basically naked at school, then they're like, that's a problem. But the open-toed shoes, they don't even care about it anymore. They really don't. Like you have your dogs out
Interesting.
and nobody cares.
Interesting. You have your what?
Dogs, feet.
Dogs? Is that
Yeah.
what toes are?
Yeah.
Dogs? Oh,
Well,
nice.
I don't know. That's what I like to say. Well, when I wear my sandals, I wear like socks with them because I don't really like having my toes out. But yeah.
You know, that's funny you say that because when I lived in Illinois, the last place I lived at, um, there was different people around, you know, different friends and so forth. And I got to know this one younger kid. He was probably 18, 19, you know, kind of, you know, that age. And and he said, "Oh, you caught me with my toes exposed." I guess that's a thing now. You're supposed to
Yeah, it
wear
kind of
socks.
is. Like people are
Yeah.
so like weird about it. Like I don't know, because it feels like very vulnerable that people are seeing your toes, and especially when my toes are not like done, like they're just like naked. I feel weird to have them out because then it doesn't feel like it feels weird. It feels really, really weird.
You know, it's funny you say that because in comparison, I used to always like wearing socks with my sliders or you know whatever. Growing up, I just
Mhm.
enjoy, I like socks not because I didn't want my dogs exposed, but just it just felt better.
Yeah.
That was not the thing to do back then. You were a nerd if you. It's like why are you wearing sliders if you have socks? I mean that defeats the whole purpose of wearing sliders. I used to get harassed by it every once in a while. Somebody going, dude, because that was way out of style back then. Now it's
Mhm.
the thing. If you're not wearing socks, you're exposing yourself. You could do it, but it's not the cool thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so
I'm like
go.
somewhat confused on her question.
Okay, go ahead. Talk to me.
What do you
And
mean?
it's two parts, by the way. It's two parts, by the
Oh,
way. I didn't put the second part here. Able
okay.
to do now. So if we go back,
Okay. Emma, what
read that
can you
over again.
do now? Okay.
There you go. Go ahead. Sorry.
Emma, what can you do now that we may have not
Been
able
able to do.
now? Okay. Okay, so what can I do that you guys weren't able to?
Correct.
Okay. Um, hmm. Um, we have a lot more technology. We have a lot more access to like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like you guys weren't able to really have access to like something that helps you as much, and I feel like it wasn't you guys couldn't cheat on things as much as we can now. Like we can literally just go on the computer and look up answers to things and like it's just like, but you guys really had to like I feel like you guys got more like learning. You guys were able to learn more. You guys were able to focus more and like without like the technology getting in the way and like because now it's so normalized that it's there and everybody knows it's there to their access to just go online and if they don't know something they look it up and put that answer in, but before it was like you need to learn this, you need to study for this, like you need to study for this. Other people instead of studying they're like, okay, how can I cheat on this test? Do I write it on my hand? Like that's the it's like it's very very different. It's very very different.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And to your point, I mean, go ahead.
Teachers are getting smarter though. Like my Spanish teacher, she would make us do a hand check so she could check if we had like any like, and we would put our phones in our boxes. And there's this one time, it was my first class with her, and I did not study, and I wrote answers down on my hand and because she would make us put our phones in boxes, so I was like okay, and she made us write it down on paper. Like she was old school, she was really really old school, so it was down on paper and I wrote it on my hand and she started saying okay, hand check everybody, and I had to wipe it away really quick and then give her a hand check.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You sneaky little thing, you. So, even to the point of what you're saying, with AI, you can actually like on Chat GPT. What does this mean? And they give you the best answer you could ever want to turn into a teacher, right?
Wait, what?
Uh, you were talking about cheating. Sorry, I'm at that thing again. I keep looking over here because I'm talking to you. It's a bigger picture, but here's their camera. Chat GPT, you can use that all day long in school, and it
Well,
gives you
they
awesome.
had this new thing where like they block ChatGPT on your computer.
Oh, okay, okay.
There's a lot more
That's nice.
AIs though.
There is. There's a ton of them. I use a bunch of them. All right. Thank you, Ronaldo. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome girl.
Okay.
Why don't you read what Justina here, Cans, has to say? She looks familiar. I don't know. Anyway,
What's the best way for teens to find their own style without following trends? To mature and to find yourself on what you like, not on what other people like, just to what you like.
that's
It's
good.
it's
Hey, but I was
hmm?
just going to say, by the way, folks, we're probably only going to go 30, 40 minutes today. So let's not back in. So we're running through a bunch of questions. If any questions you have, we're probably we're probably what 15, 20 minutes away of signing off because you got something you got to do, right, Emma?
Yeah.
Don't tell
Ronaldo
them you just
said
want to go to the gym earlier. Don't tell them that. Oh,
what?
I just did. I said, I said, don't tell them it's because you want to go to the gym earlier. So what do we got? 10, 15 minutes ish, something like
Yeah.
that?
Ronaldo
Okay.
said no, we could cheat.
What's that?
Ronaldo, I don't know how to say her name right.
Ronaldo. Ronaldo.
Yes, she said no, we could cheat.
Ronaldo.
Okay.
Ronaldo.
Okay.
Hey, I had
She's
trouble with her name. That's funny.
she said no, we could cheat.
Oh, she did?
Mhm.
Are you ahead of me? Are you reading
I
down? Oh, you're reading down, aren't you?
yeah, I'm reading down. I just read the most recent ones.
Gotcha. All right, let's go
But
back to here. We'll go back.
okay.
Let's go to Lynn. Remember, she was on last time. Oh
She
wow,
was?
listen to her. She was on the show last on the fourth episode. I remember her. I remember that name.
I don't
Lynn
remember the
Star.
faces or the names. I need to start
I
doing that.
yeah, but I know she was on. Go ahead. Listen to what she
Emma,
said.
your
Where
voice
she
is
giving you a
powerful.
pat on
Keep
the back
sharing.
here.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Let's go to Jim Carrey. Oh wow, this is the first time I've seen him on your show, but he's been on my show, on our show, but he's been on my show a number of times. Go ahead. Where you go?
Okay. What advice would you give to a teen feeling left out or different? My
Oh,
class was literally just like I was in class and they were asking about a time where you felt different. So this is funny. Like it just got brought up like yesterday in my English class.
oh wow,
Hmm.
perfect
But
timing.
I don't know. Like if somebody feels left out in a group that they're in, then that's not their people. Like you have to find your people and just find just good people. Like if somebody's leaving you out, that's not your group. If you're feeling different, that's not your group. That's not your area and you need to switch to a different environment because left out or different isn't your area. That's not where you should be then. That's not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. That's very, very, very good advice. And the only reason I'm looking the way I am, other than I am who I am, is because I'm thinking about what you're saying here, and let me turn the question just an angle, just a little
Mhm.
bit, and hover here for a second. Um, what? Because I remember in high school, at least for me, and everybody's different, but I'm a social person, and I needed social interaction even back then, right? I mean, no shocker there, right, Emma?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, what if you want to be in a group and you're still feeling left out? Is that something you should like? The only reason I'm asking this because of what you just said, which was they're not your people. You should be going looking for your people.
I
Um,
mean, there can
have you ever
be.
been in that situation where you wanted to be in a group but weren't necessarily ever able to be part of it? I think I'm asking that right. What do you think? Go ahead with
I
what
mean,
you were
I'm
going to say.
like for me, I like I don't like being in big groups. I don't. I feel like big groups, a lot of the people are fake and a lot of people act like they like each other when they really don't. So like I've just made my close friends and like we'll be in a group but we'll separate from that group and do our own thing and still be mutual with everybody.
Hold on, Emma. You just went out a second. We'll be in a group,
But
and
we'll
then you
like
cut out.
we'll
Say that again.
separate from that group and hang out with each other. Like it's because
Ah,
big
okay.
groups are just a lot. But you can also feel like left out for two different reasons. Like it's either the people are leaving you out or you're just leaving yourself out. You're not engaging enough. You're not doing what you need to do. So you kind of do need to be
Ah,
an outgoing person if you want to be in a group. You need to be like outgoing if you're going to be doing that, especially in high school. Like, you have to be outgoing if you want to be in groups and you want to make friends. Like, go into ASB, go into sports, go into something within the school and just be talkative, because that's how you get people to know who you are and for people to understand your personality. Because if you're super quiet, you're not going to make friends. You're really not. You're going to be left out. You're going to feel different. And some people are like, oh, I feel different because I'm not as funny as them, or like, I feel like they may not like me. But in reality, they do like you. You're just quiet. Like, you just have to either be confident or just not be around those people. Like, it's just two different sides where it's like you're either left out because they're making you left out, or you're left out because you're not confident enough to speak. And it's just like, yeah.
Exactly. That was really, really well said. Down here to what you were talking about there. Hey, you know what? You ought to think about psychology. You're really good at analyzing. Why is this not going on? What am
Huh?
I doing wrong? I said, why is this not going on? What am I doing wrong?
What are you doing
Couldn't
wrong?
find headphone. It would be. What if I touch here? Can I put that on that way? Um, show on strip. Oh, okay. There we go. I think my other side here. Okay, so that's the one you read earlier, right?
Yes.
All right. So, wow, I did that on my iPad. I'm kind of proud of myself. And by the way, yeah, we could cheat, but not near. If that's
Yeah.
what you're
Well, like,
saying, not
obviously, you guys
near
could,
like now.
yeah, like, you guys have like your little study guides and you write it down or whatever. You could cheat, but it's like, you it's like way easier, and like with technology you have just like so much more access to so many things. Like, it's just two different worlds basically.
God, yes. All right, my dear. We're right at 33 minutes. Are you still okay? You
Yeah.
want to chat some more?
Yeah.
What do you got? How much? What do you got? Just let me know. I mean, I don't want to hold you down, but I like talking to you. You're kind of cool.
I know.
I
I haven't had any time to go to the gym this whole week, and I feel so like I need, like, I don't know, I want to do some cardio. I want to go in the stairmasters because, yeah.
I did my work. Oh, look at you throwing them out there. Look at those guns, dude.
I really don't have, no, I have no arm
You
muscle,
got
but I
some.
have
No,
like,
what are you talking about?
no, I don't have
Right,
arm
right,
muscle,
right
but I
there.
have,
You see that little? You got that little
yeah, but it's like
indent.
tiny because I don't work on my arms. I work on my legs. I don't do arms. I don't like arms.
You're up. That's not surprising. So do you wanna wrap up? You wanna talk about some more stuff? You wanna give a
We can
final
talk about
comment
some more
here?
stuff.
All right. So let's see. So as far as and by the way, you know the one that you were talking about who said was asking some questions about combining different age groups and ask the differences. That was her, the lady on the screen right there. That's Ronaldo. That's the one who's
Mhm.
texting me.
Mhm.
As you can tell, she's a big fan of yours. But I think uh, we're going through, and what I really like is how much you care about life, because you speak in a way that shows you're involved in life. How much you, I mean, I always say this. I'm biased, yeah, no doubt, but other people say the same thing, and we as adults, I don't think I've ever, and we've kind of gotten into this topic before, given kids credit. And I say kids is a very broad brush. 13 to
Mhm.
19-year-old, let's say, right? You're right in the middle there.
Mhm.
So, so do you believe that today's society, your age wise, specifically because of all the advantages you guys have in life, maybe because of social media, maybe because you've had to grow up faster, maybe I don't all these things. Uh, at the end of the day, do you think there's more kids that are like you're more common than not common? I would think you're very non-common for your age, meaning you have a nice uh, knowledge, awareness of life. That's not typically a teenage gift known as a teenage gift. Do you
I
think
feel
that
like a
kids
lot of
are
teen
brighter?
I feel like they are. I feel like a lot of kids were like are more mature now and more like
Like,
educated on certain things and like politics and stuff like that, because I do have friends that are like really into politics and stuff like that. But I feel like social media has put it on them where they just mature faster, and I feel like it is common.
is your guy? I don't want to say names unless you're comfortable. That's up to you. But
No,
is your friend?
no.
Is he political? Not political at
Uh,
all. I asked because there was a comment earlier about political views, and that made me because we found out who that was, right? Didn't we?
yeah.
From last show.
Well, yeah, I don't know that well if he's political because I don't get into politics that often, so I never really talk about it, so it's never talked
Fair enough.
about. So I I don't know actually.
Oh, but that's not surprising if you're not interested. Why would you bring it up,
Yeah,
right?
it's not my thing. Just
It's not your
politics.
gig.
It's yeah.
We'll
No.
leave that to other people.
Yeah. I'll deal with
Okay,
that when
so
I'm like 18 or something.
I actually on my 18th birthday went to register to vote on my 18th birthday.
Mm.
Ronald Reagan was in office. So let's talk about your cat. What's up with the kitty? Let's give a kitty update. Pick him up. Look how big this cat's gotten,
He's
everybody.
doing bad.
Look
He's
at
a kid.
everybody. Look at how huge he is now. He's like twice the size he was, last Monday, right? Looks
Yeah,
like a
he's
freaking
big.
cat now. Look at that face.
He's big.
He is really getting pretty.
He's stinky.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he good? Does he get into baths or no?
He doesn't like baths. I do need to give him another bath though. He doesn't. I tried to give him a bath with my friend and he was just like going insane. So my mom did it the next day because I couldn't do
How
it.
did
So
that go? How did that
I'm
go?
gonna have with my mom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was sleeping when she did it, but she put on gloves and everything. She was all prepared.
Oh, that's funny. That is so funny. So what do you want to talk about? What do you want? What's? I told everybody that we're only going for so long. Just hey guys, if you want to ask more questions, you're more than welcome to. But what do you want to compare? What do you want to roll into next as far as my age and your age? Remember, I had a great aunt that when she was born, great aunt Nora. When she was born, she came across the West, out to the West Coast from. I think we lived somewhere in Arkansas or Oklahoma, and moved out to the West in a covered wagon when she was a baby. Went across the West in a covered wagon, and before she died, she saw a space shuttle go up. Talk about seeing a lot in the world. Now, our age difference isn't that vast, but what are some of the things you? What was that for? What
He's
did you do
biting on my
that for?
hand, so I was
Oh, he's horrific.
like
Knock it off. So, what are some of the questions you have about our age difference? Isn't as vast, but it's still pretty vast. I mean, your face about fell off when I told you I graduated in '81.
How was it like looking for jobs then? Was it easy?
Oh no, great question. No, and and you didn't really know where to go. Like they didn't have a job what are they called? You either looked in the newspaper, and that's typically what you did. You circled ads in the newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
going through, and then you start calling.
Mm-hmm.
Or there was a thing called Apple Employment. That was one of the very first job uh, things, job helpers, job
Mm-hmm.
finders. That was the very cutting edge at the time. Actually, I went in to go find a job with one of those, and they actually hired me at the job. They said, "Hey," because I went in looking for office administration stuff, and
Mhm.
out of college and all that. They're like, we'll turn in your application and we'll look for you. But how would you like the job working for us? Because they found out right away, faster than I did, that I was a salesperson. I didn't even
Mhm.
know coming out of school, any guidance, any of that. It was very, very, very much different. And it's funny you bring that up, because I wonder how quicker, how more quick, how more reactive the world's going to be, because like you're saying, you guys are going into you guys at 16 are way more, not just intelligent but educated, meaning exposed in all these different things. I wonder how much faster the world's going to go now, because we were really slow coming out of the gate because we didn't know anything. We just had to
Well, I
kind
feel
of
like
all
getting a job for us is really slow.
really.
Yeah.
Why?
A lot of people don't accept. It takes a really I've been applying for a really, really long time. And it might just be because I'm 16, but a lot of people do complain about it on how it's really hard to get accepted into a job.
Is it
Especially
because
when you're
there's so
straight out
many
of
other
college
people
with
working?
yeah, and also like straight out of high school, no experience, because people don't really accept you when you're in high school that much. So straight out of high school, 18, no experience, it's like really, really hard.
That's one thing. It's interesting you bring that up, because that's something that's a big deal right now.
Hmm.
McDonald's. Let's say McDonald's. Those kind of jobs, but McDonald's was literally known for this. It was the job that high schoolers would go to for their summer job or after school, to learn how to be an employee, to learn how to work. And now there's people that are trying to make that a job that you have to raise a family on. It was never McDonald's was never, that's why the costs are going so high and high, because they're saying it's not a living wage. It wasn't supposed to be. You're supposed to get 10, 12. I don't remember what we got back then. Probably $5 an hour was like rocking it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like 16 an hour now. Because
yeah, they're
because
trying to
the
make it to 20 though.
yeah, because it's really hard to get like some people are unfortunate and they weren't able to get through high school, so they can't go as far into they're adults and they can't really go up to jobs like that, so they have multiple jobs that are minimum wage and they're really low pay, but they need to pay for their family or pay for their rent or pay for their house, and they were unfortunate they weren't able to get that education, and that's why they're trying to hire it, because also the cost of rent is going up higher than the pay you're getting. So they
Yeah.
kind of do need to bring up minimum wage, because a lot of people who are working in minimum wage are just figuring out rent, just doing their car deals and everything. They're just figuring everything out, and they kind of do need that, because it's really hard to get up top jobs now, because some people aren't as fortunate to be able to pass high school and things like that. They had to do other things that were more important than getting their education and in those type of ways. And you can't nowadays you can't like redo senior year. Like once you're 18, you're out of that high school, so it's like a whole nother process, but you have to work and help your family and do this and that, and some people aren't even um working at minimum wage for their kids because they had kids at a young age, just because their families still need help. Just people are really unfortunate and they need that minimum wage pay to go up for the unfortunate.
All right. So interesting point counterpoint here. Let's play a little of that, if we could. How does that? Here, let me take this off the screen. How does that that's a vicious cycle you're talking about right now. So you're saying that
Mhm.
there's people, certain amounts of people in the world that aren't as fortunate in circumstances that are caused, like say family illnesses, and where they weren't able to look after their own building of a life because they had to look after others, or they had babies early, or different
Yeah.
circumstances like that. So now it becomes a vicious cycle. So those jobs were always intended to be for high schoolers coming in, the entry into the workforce. Then there's a whole nother middle area of work that's out there. That's a lot of labor, a lot of extra stuff, a lot more difficulty. Um, but isn't necessarily the highest paying jobs. But so if we are always filling in that minimum wage job style with people who are unfortunate or haven't been able to make it, then you're having to now increase the cost of goods going out the door to people across the entire whoever eats food basically, or at least at McDonald's in this case. And
Mm-hmm.
then so that makes it harder again for people to make bills and money meet. So what we're doing is we're throwing money at a problem instead of a problem being fixed. How do you get out of that cycle? Because if people keep filling, first of all, you don't have high schoolers able to get jobs like they should be able to, as it was intended, as the system was designed and built uh, for decades, 50s. So what is that? 50, 70 years. That's the system was designed by people. Entry level job. Learn. You'll get a job. It won't. You're living at home, so you're gaining the experience of how to become an employable person or how to be responsible. Plus, you're getting paid to do it by serving the guests, and McDonald's makes a good buck doing it, right? So now, if you change that model and stick the people that should be working a little harder to find a job, maybe if they've had bad circumstances, but if they're 30 and 40, they're a little more adult, and they should be able to find those other ways to get jobs. Or instead, what happens is that coming into here, now you're not able to get a job, and the cost of living, they're demanding to go up, and so people feel guilty about it, and it gets passed, and that now breaks that system. How do you think that?
It's the way that the system is that makes it this way, because I know that there is out there like 30, 40-year-olds who work at McDonald's or things like that. They are looking for better paid jobs, but they don't have, like they could go to construction, but construction takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and it messes up your body over time too, on top of that. And it doesn't pay
Yeah,
that good, and all these things, like there's jobs that they can look for, and they probably are. This just might be their job for now, because you have to have a job. Some people have that one job while looking for other jobs, and they have like three different jobs that they're trying to do, and all this stuff while trying to help family members or take care of a baby, or car payments, or something like that, where they're just trying to pay something off. I think that they are looking for things, but that's their only option at this very moment, because nobody is just not gonna try if they are needing money. If they're in need of money, they're just not going to be like, oh, I'm just going to be lazy and go work at this job. Like, I doubt they even want to be doing that. They're probably looking for another job, but it's really hard to get into jobs at this very moment. Especially, it's very limited if you don't have certain amount of education, and even if you do, there's a bunch of other people applying to that. There's a bunch of things that you need to do, and there's just a bunch of requirements that some people can't meet, or they just don't accept you. So you really have to take so much time to go and apply. You have to take so much time out of your day, but some people don't have that time. They have three jobs, and then they have a family to take care of, and it just doesn't, they can't find that time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a tough spot to be, but it's just got to be.
It's the
They're
system. The
just.
system just needs to be different. It needs to be more helping. It needs to be more encouraging. It needs to be. That's why we have the government. That's why we have all these things. So people that are fortunate get to have, help and support, but they're not really exactly getting that.
I The system is broken. There's no doubt about it. And like you said, we've got to get the right people in there.
Hmm.
And that goes back to the whole case. I mean, uh, that's that's where the system where this got started, because we want you need to be more involved in your life. You need to take your life more serious. You need to look within yourself and say, okay, what do I need to do to get better? And then you need to pay attention to the politicians that are out there and put the right people in place so that the systems, I mean, their job, we put them in office to do our bidding. And our bidding means the system, like this system you're talking about. It's broken, it needs to be fixed. And we've got to be able to get the right people in place, in power, and in positions to do that.
Hmm.
Oh my
That's
God,
not my job
so good.
yet. I have 2 years until I can vote. That's your guys' job.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but what do you think we're
Mhm.
doing? What we're doing, girl? And you're gonna be on the back. You're gonna be on the front edge. You're gonna be on your looking at your clock at midnight, going, "Okay, I'm ready to go sign up to vote now." Right? You're gonna be on there on your 18th birthday.
I don't know about that because I don't get into politics. I don't know if I'm gonna vote for the first few years that I'm 18 because it's a big thing. It's a big argument with everybody and it's a lot. And like
Oh my goodness.
I'm not that educated on who's good and who's bad because so many people have opinions and this and that. So like I would have to figure out like you know.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
There is going to be an election on your birthday. Not on your
Really?
birthday. The month after your birthday is a president the next presidential election.
Well, if I'm educated enough, then I might vote.
Hey, Ronaldo here. She came back on.
Um,
What's your reader?
you forgot the senior citizens let me to do work because they did not plan on retirement. They need the income to supplement. Is he saying that they don't do enough for senior citizens?
Well, technically that is true, but what she's
I'm.
saying here, and that was something I was going to actually bring up because the other end of it, you're saying kids are having trouble getting jobs
Hmm.
because older people are taking, and we went on the
And they
McDonald's
can't
story,
go on
right?
retirement.
So nowadays, where there's the retirements aren't keeping up with the cost of living
Hmm.
has been. So you've got people at Walgreens or what greeters, right? Retired people that work, and so that could also be another high school job, you know. But now the retirees, us old fogies, are taking up those jobs too. So the system is really whack-a-mole right now,
Hmm.
really whack-a-mole.
Yeah, it's all over the place. But it's kind of hard. I feel like you can't really expect the I don't know. I feel like it's really hard because it's only people making up these laws and there's so many things that they have to focus on and so many things that they have to do and they can't touch every subject.
I don't agree with because here's the thing.
Really?
Uh, yeah, no. Think about it because we have politicians at all different levels, right?
Hmm.
You have local politicians, you have state representatives, you have county,
Well,
you have state. So there's a lot. But what they are doing is they're not looking at the things we need. They're looking at everything else. I mean, what are they going to Israel for? If you're a senator, I mean, come on, that's about themselves.
yeah.
So that's something that I did wrong.
I feel like it's because there's so many different people with different mindsets in the government where everything gets all over the place. And some people probably are trying to touch on those subjects, but other people are trying to focus on like the bigger things, which like Israel and like whatever. Like it's hard to have so many people with different mindsets to be working on the world together. There's so many things that people have to work on. There's so many things that like it's just so many things. There's so many things that they have to work on and it's so many different types of people with different mindsets so they have to figure out what's right and what everybody agrees with and like people don't agree with what's right and it's like
Oh, I think that one was a big one. Oh, I think she's coming back. Ah, ah, Emma, you there? All right. So while Emma is wandering around her room and in the darkness, oh wait, I think I heard her. There she is,
hello.
Miss America. You disappeared. Oh,
I can't see myself. Can you see me?
100% now I can. I couldn't see you a little bit ago.
I was getting a call. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Okay.
as a matter of fact, I was going to use my phone too, but I didn't for that exact reason because I had to use it once, and I didn't realize when a call comes in, it messes with you. Uh, so, um, what were we talking about? We were talking about so many different issues that people need to handle and take care of. Um, what do you think for worldwide? I think Ronaldo's got another. She had spelled something wrong there. I think on the previous one it, to supplement their retirement. I think she said work somewhere in here. Anyway, um, and then she said you forgot the.
Can you see me? Like, I literally cannot see myself at all.
I totally see you.
Okay. That's so
Okay,
weird.
so what do you see? Just a black screen?
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. It's weird. With I mean, right now, if you didn't say anything, we'd have no idea from out here in the audience. No idea.
Okay.
So, um, what do you think are the? Let's go with let's kind of wrap up a little bit if you don't mind. We're coming up on 3 o'clock. Hey, you made an hour, girl. You made an hour easy. You
Yeah.
made it even be easy. Um,
Yes.
you're really talking well. You know that.
Thank
Um,
you.
let's kind of wrap up a little bit here with you talked about there's a lot of things in the world that need to be fixed. And what do you think? This is a totally unfair question, way beyond your years, but as much confidence as I have on you, in you, I want to press just a little bit. What are the three things? Doesn't matter what age. What are the top three things that need to be addressed right now? That need to be worked on? That need to be fixed? What should we be paying attention to? And don't just say them. Say them and then fill in some. If so, why? Why is it this the way I feel that? What's wrong with it? Three things, big ones.
Three things that like need to be worked on in the world.
That you believe, the top three things that you believe, because there's I mean you could pick anything, you know that, but what do you think are the top things?
Okay. I'm gonna pick one thing that can go into like three different like
Oh, interesting. Okay,
subjects.
there's a
I'm gonna say
choice.
money.
Okay.
Money
Okay.
because of rent or like payments or stuff like that, and like the cost of things and the pay of things. Like it, do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, totally do.
I'm saying money in general because money is such a giant problem right now.
Well, yeah, no, yeah, that's very good way to put it, and that's something that the people who we put into place to do their jobs, that's the biggest thing. I mean, there's 16.7 trillion dollars a year just of our money. 16. Can you imagine if you had 16 trillion dollars in your pocket, Emma?
That's crazy.
The government spends that every single year, and and we that's where we need to focus. I agree with you, man. We need to bring the costs of stuff down, and it's not like it can't be done. It's not
Yeah.
like I mean, I bought a house for less than a house would have been sold 20 years ago, just because it's the interest of things, you know. The
Mhm.
more somebody it drives the price up, and if it isn't there, you can get better deals. Well, right now they're just driving costs of things up, and it's really depressing because it hits all three of those things that you were talking about,
Mhm.
all having to do with money. It's really sad.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to say? What do you want to say to wrap up and then give everybody a big howdy? And are we going to do Saturdays from now on? Because some of the people want to know. They're asking me if they can like get more of a regular. Whoop. Oh wait, hold on. We didn't get off. I was trying to scoot out of here. Hold on. But can you see what he's saying?
My thing is glitching. I cannot see comments right now. Like my thing is like really weird.
Who is pretty? who's the pretty lady on the right? Robert Town. Who that? This isn't our friend from the other day, is it?
I don't know.
Do you know Robert Towney?
No.
That's my granddaughter there, buddy. Don't you read the thing? She is a very pretty young lady, and I appreciate that. And so as far as a sending off, a time to get to the gym, what do you have for final thought?
That was my final thought, my big three. My little money thing that people
All
need
right,
to fix. But yeah, that's it.
all right, Emma. How do you like my hat?
I like your hat.
Very cool hat. I love. Tell everybody bye. I'm going to say the same thing, and then I'll just go ahead and hit the. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see what do you usually work on at the gym? All right, we'll let. I think somebody's got a little thing going on there.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. You have a good one. Call me later. I'll
I'll
talk
call
to you
you.
later. All right. Love
Okay.
you.
Love
All
you.
right.
Bye bye.
Before you leave, if you'd like to watch another one of the podcasts, click the first link in the description. We love having you here and we appreciate all your support.
And with that, producer Barbie and I are out.